Welcome, everybody, to episode 136 of the Geek Dad Report. The one show dedicated, formulated, specially created, and to bring you all the nerd news you need to know. Bam! Say that 10 times fast. I'll put a little smile on your face, and hopefully making your day just a little bit better in these dark and gloomy times that we live in. I'm Brian West, the hostess with the motherfucking mostest. Woo!
And I'm Ryan Thomason. The night is dark and full of terrors, Brian. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes. And together, I don't know, we formed the Geek Dad Report, which you already said, so.
Yeah. We look at gray hairs that are on our faces, that are like sprouting on our chest because, well, not my chest. I don't have any gray hairs, but, you know.
You know what is this? Is this repayment for the Dutch hutch? Are you still mad about that? I told you the fucking gray hair story in privacy, Ryan. In privacy, all right? This face, people think I'm like 26.
You never did say if you have gray hairs on the private areas. I mean, we didn't go that far.
What hair on the private areas,
You did
Ryan?
show me. You did show me, and I tried to see.
Ryan, I'm a man of the world. I have no hair on the private areas. Come on, man. Your poor wife. Men, groom your shit. Nobody wants to see that. Yeah. I don't want to see that. He doesn't want to see that. Your special lady friend or male friend, we're not judging, definitely doesn't want to see that.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Well, Ryan probably wants to see it. In fact, you should all DM Ryan directly, which I guess is what DM means, with pictures of your junk. Ryan loves that kind of thing.
Yeah, so everyone just invest in a good pair of man trimmers. That's all we can say.
You can find Ryan on Grindr on DutchHut69.org. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you clearly missed a couple episodes ago where Ryan apparently decided to tell the world that his dick is called the Dutch Hut. He still has yet to give me an explanation for that. But back to the gray hair. How dare you tell everybody about my gray hairs? Yes, occasionally.
Why would you tell everyone about my Grindr account? That's what I want to know.
Hey, I'm just trying to help you get action.
My wife doesn't even know about that now.
Well, she does now. Well, she doesn't listen to the show.
Looking at my phone.
Dutch Hutch, people. DutchHut69.org. Or AOL. I think he's still got an AOL account. I think AOL is only used for like old business and like sex accounts, right? Isn't that what we use AOL for nowadays?
That's my understanding.
DutchHut69 at AOL.com. That guy, he's going to hook you up.
I don't know why you laugh every time you say it.
Whatever. You know what? Listen, people. We're the Geek Dad Report. Clearly, despite my youthful appearance, and Ryan's kind of scruffy youthful appearance, we are fathers, and we have reached a secondary stage in life.
Yes.
That's a good way of saying we've gotten fucking old. I mean, we're almost we're like at Uncle Rico status, right? Where we still think we got it, and we're like, yeah, we still got it, but if you like were to throw a football, you probably pull your hammy and you dislocate your shoulder. Now,
the worst thing was the last week, and you know, if you get a case of or a flat of water from Costco, I was like, I'm just going to carry two at the same time.
Well, that's just stupid because a flat of water at Costco is 700 bottles, Ryan.
Well,
what is that? That's like 7 tons. I mean, I'm pretty sure my math is right. Let me look.
It was really close to that. So I got from the back of my car up around the sidewalk to my porch, and then I just sat down on the porch. And I said, no, I'm done.
Yeah, well, these are the things that happen when you get older. So if you're a youthful person listening to our show, guess what?
Your kids will break you.
As you get older, life will break you. Gravity will break you. Yeah. Things will just stop working. And not those things, people. Get your mind out of the fucking gutter.
And sometimes your wife will break you. So
hopefully. Anyway, we're talking about gray hairs, yes. Okay, occasionally get a couple random gray. We were talking about the random gray hairs, and why the fuck do they always end up being like 9 inches long, and they sprout overnight?
Yes. Just sitting there, like, I had one in my eyebrow.
I've not had one in my eyebrow.
It was just like a big, giant white eyebrow. My
occasionally
pulled it out.
I'm pretty lucky. I haven't gotten in my ears yet. I'm not old. I don't get them in my nose yet, but my chest hair, I'll look down, I'll have this one, and it's like, woo, it looks like a curly straw, but it's like out to here, and it's by itself. It's
weird. He just goes, no.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right out.
You. I'm getting a little gray in my beard, but luckily that doesn't grow twice as long. That'd be weird.
Yeah.
Whatever. Well, but you know what? Can we stop talking about being just old farts?
Sad stuff.
We're young and awesome.
We are. Our kids are not even teenagers yet.
Thank God.
God, I'm screwed when my kid's teenager. That's all I can say.
Are people going to be able to like look at the first episode of the Geek Dad Report and we look all young and happy and our kids are real little and we're like, woo!
Yeah.
And then our final episode, they'll be like when they graduate high school and we're just like fucking old and decrepit and falling out.
They're going to have their own YouTube accounts that have like 5 million followers because, they know like all the cool stuff to do to get people.
Have doubled our followers to 120.
We're at like 300.
They're like, dude, you know what? I'm sick of. Can I just say I'm sick of YouTube and whoever gets followers? I seen this one account where they literally make slime. They just make slime. They're like, this is how you make slime. 12 million views.
Yeah. My son watches.
This is goddamn quality entertainment that you get for free. Well, I'm not yelling at you who is watching this because you guys are clearly watching this. I'm yelling at the people who don't watch this because you watch some crappy slime video. I'll tell you to make slime. You go to the store and you fucking buy it. That's how you make slime. Yeah. Boom.
My kid's been watching something like Muffin Time.
That sounds...
something.
You need to not let them watch that. That sounds like a terrible show for your children to be watching.
It's like the weirdest thing.
I bet. It's like the baker's like, hey, somebody got some dough I can fucking roll. It's time for the muffin time.
No. It's a muffin.
Yeah, I
like
bet
an actual muffin. He's like, it's muffin time.
Does he beat it with his roller? He's like, oh, is it time for the muffin roller? Yeah. Pow! Pow! Your kids are crying. What do you fucking let your family watch? You are a terrible father. Muffin man.
It's muffin time, actually.
Stop! Muffin time. And on that cue, we're going to go to the news. Jeez, it's muffin time. You know what? When I get off this podcast, I'm going to walk upstairs and look at my wife and be like, it's muffin time. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take all the muffins.
I'm the muffin roller. I'm the roller man. The muffin roller man. Side note, if you guys have ever called yourself the muffin man or if our technique that we just explained to you works, we'd love to hear about it in the comments. I mean, not every detail, but we'd just like to know if it worked or not. Yeah.
I mean, if you're not in a relationship where you can explore new things every now and then, you got to try.
Don't let your kids watch the Muffin Man, though, people. Muffin Time. Not a good show for children. All right, what are we talking about? All right, we're going to do the news. We just do the news. We got a lot of news for you guys today. We got a lot of questions today on From the Faithful 50. And from the Faithful 65 now. Now we're growing like weeds in the winds.
We have expanded
of the Muffin Man's factory. What?
I said we expanded the threshold.
Yes, we have. So we got lots of questions from you guys. And what else we got? We got a few recommendations to give you guys this week. We got a few more reviews we're going to do, but we're going to do those after shows, so something to look forward to.
Yeah.
A little teaser. We're going to talk a little bit about Cloak and Dagger on our first review, and then we're going to give you guys a wonderful craptastic of Justice League, which is about to get on HBO. So if you haven't seen it yet, you'll be able to watch it soon. Or should you find out after you get done with the show?
I did not wait 6 months until after it came out to finally get around to watching it.
We're not talking about it now, Ryan.
Yes.
That's just called a tease. But anyway, let's dive into the news. We got a lot of it for you. We got a lot of news. There was a lot of news this week, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What do we want to talk about first?
News this week.
So first this week, I would like to, I don't know, should we, now here, you know what? We'll start the show like we always do when we lose somebody cool in the world. We like to give him a little shout out. So Anthony Bourdain passed this week at the age of 61. I honestly did not. I mean, I knew who he was, but I didn't watch a lot of his shows or really follow the guy. This last week, because everyone's very much sad by his passing, I watched a lot. I listened to a lot of podcasts where he was interviewed. Watched a lot of clips of shows that he did, and I see why people love this guy. Man, he was a very, he lived life and he embraced it. And he seemed like a really good dude. So it's. Whenever people, especially when they take their own lives, it's always very tragic and sad. And, Anthony, wherever you are, like we say on this show, good journey, and may the Force be with you.
Yes, and I mean, my wife and I watched the show a lot. He was really respectful of other cultures, and he just seemed like he was a good person. So if you ever having bad thoughts or something like that, please just call the suicide helpline and talk to somebody.
And honestly, I mean, we are no experts, but if you sometimes you just need somebody to talk to and not feel alone, we are always available, and
and if you just want us to shut up and let you talk,
well, then you should talk to Ryan then, because
you should definitely talk to me.
But seriously,
Ryan's good too.
If you're not one of our personal friends in real life, you are still our friends on the interwebs and in real life, and you can always get us on Geek Dad Report or on Twitter or Facebook or just on YouTube. Hit us in the comments. We'd be more than happy to have a conversation with you. But life is already short enough as it is, and just remember, you are always loved and never alone in this world.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, all right. So from shitty news to other shitty news. So last week we talked a lot we had a rant about the toxic nature of some Star Wars fans right now and how much we didn't like it and just kind of the toxic nature of fandom in general. We got some feedback from people, and I want to clarify a little bit about what we were talking about. This is a perfect segue because what we were talking about was... So last week, in our rant, the thing that kind of kicked it off was the fact that Kelly Marie Tran had deleted her Instagram account because she'd been receiving so much hateful and racist comments, tweets, things from fans who hated her character Rose, and it just got to the point where she just didn't want to be part of it anymore. And me and Ryan last week had really, really pissed us off, to be honest, because we love this stuff. Obviously, we do an unpaid show just because we love talking about these things. Nobody pays us to do this. We both have full-time jobs elsewhere. We take time out of our week away from our families because we love.
It's 11:30 at night. That's my dedication on a work night.
But we love this stuff, and we love talking to people about it, and we love fans, and we love being able to embrace so much of the great geek culture that we have right now, that it really just pisses us off when people do these things and they make all of us look bad, right? And so anyway, we were very angry last week, and I had a few people reach out to me personally who are fans of the show who were like, they weren't sure if we were talking about them, but they thought maybe we were mad at them. And I just wanted to clarify, if you disagree with us, if you didn't like The Last Jedi, if you don't like the DC Universe, that is totally fine. You can go to any movie, and you know what? Most of America loved Avengers Infinity War. If you hated it, cool, man. That's fine. Me and Ryan are always here to talk about that. And we'd love to hear why you didn't like those things. We have no problem whatsoever with somebody who has a different opinion of us. Now, me and Ryan tend to agree on a lot of things, and this is our platform that we're on doing this. Well, I say it's not our platform, but this is how we speak.
Yeah.
So,
but we have disagreed on some stuff, and,
And so we're not always going to give everybody's point of view on the show. I'm going to say things like, I love The Last Jedi, and I can't understand why people didn't. Doesn't mean I think you're wrong. I just really honestly can't understand why you didn't like it. I thought it was great. But people are always welcome, to have these conversations with us, and we will never tell you you're just an idiot or you're stupid for your opinion. You can. But what we won't tolerate and what we will never tolerate on the show is people who just take it to that next level, like we talked about with Kelly Marie Tran. In fact, somebody came out and claimed credit. And down with Disney's treatment of franchises and its fanboys, official Facebook page. I'm not going to read this whole thing because I'm not going to give them any more of a platform. But basically they go on to talk about how they're the ones behind it, and they're sick of Disney's agenda, and they hate everything, and they want the canon back, and they're mad about the old books, and they want all this stuff to come back. And then, let's see. Basically, the last line. I'm going to give you the last line of this thing. It says, Disney, time to bring back the straight white hero that isn't manufactured by a corrupt corporation. That pretty much tells you everything about this group that you need to know and why we will never support people like that.
Yeah, and George Lucas did not create Star Wars that way. If you look at his original draft on everything, it would have pissed the fuck off of these people. It's like Han Solo was like a lizard guy.
Well, It's not even about that, right? Bring back the straight white. We got to represent the straight white male hero. Okay, listen, man. I am a straight white male. I have lots of heroes. I don't care that Rey is the new hero of the new generation. I just don't. Like,
I'm fairly sure she's straight.
I don't even care. If she is, she isn't. It doesn't really matter, right? The whole point is
the whole point is there is no fucking point, Brian. It's just that there's a group of people.
It infuriates me.
But this makes them feel like they are included in a group. And this is their way of being able to feel like they are a part of something. Because obviously they're not a part of the real Star Wars fandom. Because they can't. They will never be accepted. Mark Hamill will never go up and give these guys a high five. If they were outside of a hotel and Mark Hamill walks out and he knew who the fuck they were, he would walk right past them.
Well, honestly, I think
they know that.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking for validation, and we're never going to give this validation, and they're never going to get this validation as a fan, because that's not what we're about, right? The fandom is not about it. Now, that not being said, like, hey, if you feel that Disney is trying to force diversity on you, you know what? I have my own opinion on that. You're entitled to yours, and if you want to walk away from Star Wars, go right ahead. But
go start your own fucking movie franchise.
Yeah, but this whole, like, we're going to burn it to the ground and make lives miserable, that is what we were talking about last week, and we don't need to rehash it. If you want to know how we felt about it, feel free to hit our last episode. We went on about a 30-minute rampage. And like I said, I felt like we kind of peppered everybody a little bit, and we just wanted to clarify and make sure that if we do not think negatively of you if you have a different opinion than us. You are absolutely entitled to it, but yeah, we will never tolerate toxic fandom on this show, at least. I mean, whatever.
Nope.
Speaking of the toxic fandom of things that they would hate, apparently it came out this week that George Lucas did have an outline for episodes 7, 8, and 9, and he, I think he was talking on, James Cameron's new show on Sci-Fi. I need to watch it. It's about science fiction TV shows.
It's like movies. Science fiction creators.
There you go. It looks pretty good. I always forget about it. I need to watch it. But apparently George Lucas came out and said his outline. So if you didn't like the prequels, you would absolutely love these new ones. So basically especially if you hated midichlorians. So the concept was he was taking the midichlorians one step further. In fact, the midichlorians were actually a race of people called the Wills. Oh no, not the midichlorians. There was another race of people who fed on the midichlorians, or no, a race of beings called the Wills, and that they dictated the Force.
No, they're WHILLS.
Yeah, the Wills. They're called
the Wills. But they are actually in control of the whole universe, and they feed off the Force.
Yes, so the Force is no longer a mystic being; it's actually midichlorians. It's like a whale and I don't know, what do whales eat? Those little micro things.
No, this is what the real fans want, Brian. This would have been George Lucas' next vision.
You know, whatever. I still would have watched it.
Yeah, you would have watched the shit out of it.
Because I'm a Star Wars party animal. I'll watch it all. But yeah, whatever. I mean, everyone just take a breather. And if you hated The Last Jedi, cool. Don't boycott Solo because you hated The Last Jedi. Solo's a good movie. You should go see it. Did you know, Ryan, that I did a review of Solo and I recommended it multiple times?
I have. I've also listened to your review. I think I've got the most views on that review out of anybody.
Good. I'll take them. All right, we have so much news. What do you want to? I'm gonna leave it up to you. What do you want to hear next, Ryan? That's all Star Wars. Well, we got some. So we have some gamer news. We're not skipping it in case you're like, why'd you talk about Star Wars gamer stuff? We had one of our questions in the Faithful 50
saving it.
Who want to talk about that, so we're gonna save it for then. So if we're not just bypassing all the game news. We know E3 happened and there's some big stuff that came out. So okay, we got Avenger, we got Marvel news, we got merger news, we got DC news, we got Potpourri. We got
Potpourri.
We got Dolly Parton news. We got
Dolly Parton.
You want to go with Dolly Parton? All right. First up, Dolly Parton news. Dolly Parton has inked a deal with Netflix to do a 10-episode season, with each episode based on one of her songs.
That's a very interesting concept.
Pretty sure they already did that. Wasn't it called Rhinestone Cowboy?
That's what I thought.
Well, Sylvester Stallone and I don't know, whatever.
Dude, Dolly Parton does some pretty awesome shit though. You know, she like sends like everybody like a free book basically, like for the first like 5 years of your life because she believes everybody should read.
Well, I never got a book from her, so that's a lie. Way to go,
Well,
Ryan.
it's big in the state of Tennessee where she's from.
You know,
That's
I went to Tennessee and I went to Dolly Parton land.
her charity is the second biggest book buyer in the country.
Really?
Yeah, it's a really cool thing she does.
That's cool.
You can you can sign up for it. So when your kid's born, and they'll send you books every month.
That's pretty cool. All right, what else we got? What do you want next?
105 by now. Jesus Christ.
DC, Marvel, or more potpourri news? What do you got? Oh, we also have merger news.
Dolly Parton.
What?
I want to keep talking about Dolly Parton.
All right, merger news it is. So the AT&T and Warner Brothers merger has been officially approved, which has now opened the floodgate for everybody else who wants to take over the world with evil corporations. First up, Comcast, fucking it up for us Disney fans. Well, us Marvel fans who want to see Disney acquire Fox.
Well, I saw something that said that the Marvel rights might not be a part of the Comcast
Okay,
deal.
so here's everything, so you guys don't have to follow this, that we have learned through our various sources. And by various sources, I mean I got 3 people on the inside.
Yes.
And what they're telling me is that Comcast came in with a $65 billion all cash offer to Fox, which tops the, I think, $54 billion offer that is all stock from Disney to buy Fox. Now, it is rumored, and my sources have confirmed this, that Murdoch still would like to go forward with the Disney deal. Apparently there's some tax things involved. A cash you have to pay more taxes on versus stocks right now. So there's definitely some... It's not... The deal isn't as lucrative. The reason why they came over the top with the $65 billion instead of a $55 billion deal is because of some of those things. So this deal isn't that much... It's not insanely better than the one Disney has. Plus... Fox would have to start the whole process again. They're already months into this process, and they would have to start all over again. And then, these things take like a year to make it actually happen. There's a lot that has to go on with these things. Secondly, what?
The economics part of it, at least with the stock market thing, is that the stock, if it's in a company like Disney and they're going to give you an all stock deal, you're going to take that deal because 5 to 10 years from now, that stock can possibly double. So instead of getting the $65 billion, you could sell that stock for $200 billion.
Well, and especially if Disney does successfully launch their streaming service, which they're going to launch it, and if it becomes the next Netflix, Netflix is valued at like $500 a share right now. So to Ryan's point, that $54 billion could actually end up being $400 billion.
Yeah, and part of the reason why Comcast is really making its offers because whoever gets Fox gets the other 30% share of Hulu, which is
a streaming service, a big one.
Yeah, the streaming service that I purchased that Disney would end up having, or ABC, one of the million umbrellas that are underneath Disney now. They would get the 30% share. And they would have the more controlling interest in Hulu. So that's another. There's a lot of like. It's not all just the Marvel characters, even though we would like to think so. But and
on top of it, it's content. Content's the name of the game, right? Everybody's going to this Netflix model, and like you said with Hulu has the infrastructure, and infrastructure is not easy to start. I mean, Disney's still working on their streaming service, so they would get controlling interest in Hulu. They would have a lot of content that they could, start their own streaming service with. And on top of it, they're trying to get the Sky Channel, which is like the European. It's big in Europe. It's a broadcast in Europe that's a big part of this deal. But anyway, that's why they want to do it. Will they acquire it? I don't know. To me, it's starting to sound a little They went right to the shareholders and started sending letters to people saying, demand that Fox takes this better offer, right? I don't know how Fox is. I mean, when you're dealing with a lot of crusty old white people like that, they don't take kindly to people trying to go behind their backs and get shareholders upset. So,
well, the Murdochs are the controlling interest in the Fox thing. So.
Exactly. But basically, the nuts and bolts about this. How does this affect us? Obviously, the streaming aspect will affect all of us, but as far as Marvel fans who want to see X-Men and Fantastic Four reunited, that could still actually happen. What a lot of insiders on Wall Street believe what's going to end up happening with this deal is that they're going to split it and sell it to both of them. So Disney's going to buy what they want, and Comcast is going to try and buy what they want. Now, that being said, what do they want? Who knows? I mean, maybe they both want controlling interest in Hulu. Because I know Disney, they may have the same thing. Maybe they want to turn... Because if Disney gets Hulu, they'll have controlling interest in Hulu. And maybe that's what they want to launch their streaming platform. I don't know. All I know is that there's a really good chance that we're probably still going to get all the Marvel characters under one house. And there's also a good chance this turns into an all-out bidding war like we've never seen, because you're dealing with two monster companies who have a shit ton of cash. So...
Yeah, and Disney employs some of the best lawyers in the world.
Or maybe a third person will come in, namely Apple, who has $900 billion trillion just sitting in an offshore account that they got to spend, and they might just buy all three companies.
Everyone knows that our corporate overload is going to become Amazon.
And then we'll have Siri or Alexa imprinted right into our brains.
Yes, we're going to have just like... Have you seen that Black Mirror with the eye thing? Like where it records everything? Oh, it's a freaky one. Like you can record everything that you see, it gets recorded. And so you can like play it back and like put it up on your TV and like rewatch what you were doing, or if you like steal your wife's thing, you can make her like replay what she was doing to see if she was cheating on you. And this guy like freaked the fuck out. It was really crazy.
I don't know what you're doing. It's kind of strange.
Technology.
All right. Well, you know what? Moving on. Warner Brothers. Since we were talking about the AT&T Warner Brothers merger that was approved, we got a lot of DC news this week. Surprisingly, a lot of news. Jeff Johns, basically the guy who is going to be the DC's version of Kevin Feige, has stepped down. Apparently, he's going to start writing comic books again. He's writing the script right now for Green Lantern, the Green Lantern Corps movie, which is officially confirmed that is going to be a Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan movie. It's going to be a team-up movie like we've heard before. Now, take all this with a grain of freaking sand, people, or grain of salt, because DC, I have no idea what the fuck DC is doing. They announce shit and then they don't make it. Then they say they're going to do this and then they say they're going to do something else. Like, for instance, The Flash right now is apparently no longer going to be Flashpoint. Apparently they're shooting for a Back to the Future style movie. I don't know.
DC doesn't even know what DC is doing at this point.
Yeah, I mean, the Joker, they got two Joker movies. The Scorsese one starts shooting here this fall. It's going to have like a $50 million budget, which I actually think that's a good idea. Make some of these movies for lower, so that if they aren't successful, that you're not like scrapping the whole universe. If you have a lot, better chance of maybe being financially at least good. Yeah. Whatever. I don't know, man. But apparently they're launching a separate title. I think they're gonna call it DC Black or DC Dark. That's gonna be kind of their what if stories. We have Batman, the new Batman movie that's coming out with Matt Reeves directing is now being confirmed that it's going to be about a young Batman, so Ben Affleck's officially out. We've got no announcement, except for they say, this is what's going on with Warner Brothers. If you're going to fire Ben Affleck from Batman, or you're going to say, listen, you're going to put a news release and move on. Oh no, they say, Matt Reeves hasn't confirmed if Ben Affleck will be it, but he's looking for a young Bruce Wayne.
I'm wondering, maybe AT&T is going to streamline all this. They're going to send in the DirecTV people and get all this sorted out.
I just don't know what the hell's going on. And then they have more details, like the Joss Whedon.
Nobody knows what's going on, Brian.
The Joss Whedon, Zack Snyder still can't, like, the saga won't go away. I mean, we're going to talk about Justice League in our Capper Captastic tonight. Everyone said, Zack Snyder stepped away because of his daughter's untimely passing, which was awful, right? And then now it's coming out like, no, he did a movie, they didn't like it, and so apparently they had somebody else writing, or Jeff Johns writing pages for Justice League, and to the point, they had two different scripts they were trying to shoot from, to the point where the original Chris Terrio, I think his name was, who wrote Man of Steel and Batman v Superman with Zack Snyder, was like, hey, maybe we should, they weren't working to the point where he's like, well, let's try using my pages, and Warner Brothers would step in and be like, no, we're not using your pages, but they were all on like on set as they're filming, and then they had a separate group after Zack Snyder showed him his cut. They didn't like it so much that they brought in Joss Whedon, fired Zack Snyder, and told Joss Whedon to reshoot this movie. Like it's
stupid.
Yeah, that all's been coming out. Shocker. What else? What other? We had something else from DC. On the good front, we got our first images from Aquaman. Got released by Entertainment Weekly. I think it's going to be fine, but the Aquaman right now looks very Batman and Robin, Batman Forever-ish.
Yeah, when I was looking at the pictures that they had, I was like,
well, part of it is because the costumes look very bright and very very clingy.
It's going to be an interesting movie. I can't remember how much of it's shot underwater, or in their little bubble thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, they're not going to do the bubbles. In fact, they're going to do where they just they have a fun way of talking. I don't know. We're supposed to get a trailer soon. We'll find out. Let's see what else. Deathstroke, apparently a movie, is not coming anytime soon. We're not going to see Deathstroke. And then they announced that Deathstroke is probably going to be the bad guy in Suicide Squad 2, which means Black Adam's out. And we don't know when Black Adam's going to show back up. Also Jim Lee is now in charge. He took Jeff Johns' spot, which, I mean, Jim Lee's a great artist, but I don't know. Do you know what's going on, Ryan? I don't know what's going on.
I would never be able to tell you what's going on when it comes to that stuff.
They apparently, though, they are apparently launching their streaming service in August.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm still waiting for their digital comic service, so.
Yeah, that's probably never happening. I will definitely sign up for the streaming service, because sure, why not? We like Warner Brothers. All right, moving on to happier news.
The anime movies, then those are all good.
Last bit of Warner Brothers DC news. Wonder Woman, the first kind of screenshots for that has dropped, and this is a little bit of a spoiler, but it's the first screenshot they've given us. God, I just lost his name. Chris Pine is back.
Evans?
No, not Chris Evans. I was looking at Avengers. I was queuing up the next thing. No, Steve Trevor is officially back in Wonder Woman.
I thought he died.
He did die, and he died in World War I, which makes Wonder Woman 84, which is the official title of this new Wonder Woman movie. Interesting, because he's back and he's aged, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but hey, fingers crossed it's something super awesome. All right, what else we got? We're running out of time, so let me just blow through some of these real quick.
Okay.
If you have something you want to say, raise your hand, and I'll let you speak. Otherwise, I'm going to knock these out.
Blow away, Brian.
All right, Matthew Vaughn has announced that Marvel Studios is going to be coming out with more Kick-Ass, Hit Girl, and Kingsman movies in the near future. In fact, he has the idea for at least 3 more Kingsman movies, which, hey, whatever. I haven't watched the last one, but I like Kingsman.
They're good.
We got our first trailer for Halloween.
No.
Looks scary. We got our first trailer for The Nun.
No.
Looks scary.
No.
J.J. Abrams and his Bad Robot Company is getting into the gaming business. They're going to be releasing games soon. That's kind of cool.
Maybe.
We have confirmation that Iron Fist Season 2 is going to launch this year. Most people thought it'd be next year, but in fact, it's not. We're getting Luke Cage in like a week, and then we're getting Iron Fist the end of Season 2. Or end of this year, Season 2.
I'm good for that.
Avengers spoilers have been, Avenger 4 plotline spoilers have been leaking. Apparently they had a little bit of footage at some Comic-Con in Europe this week. I'm not going to talk much about it, but it's out there if you'd like to. I have read it. It's not super spoilery, but it definitely does give you an outline of how the movie is going to probably play out. But we'll talk more about that. We have a lot of time to talk about that. Let's see here. A 9-year-old Fortnite player was admitted to rehab for a gaming addiction.
Their parents couldn't do anything about it, Brian.
Just make sure you keep an eye on your kids playing. That's our PDA for today. Public service, our PSA. Let's see.
It works.
Don't ever anybody ever tell you that going to movies all the time doesn't pay, because a Infinity War superfan has seen the movie 44 times, I believe, posted every ticket. He's got them all saved online, and the Russo said, "You're awesome, and we're going to invite you to a screening of Avengers 4.
So spend, God, how many How much money is that in ticket? That's like
44. Well, do $10 a ticket. What is that? That's
yeah. And he said a lot of them,
400,
like some people were like giving
$500 in tickets.
were like sending him money or buying his tickets for him or something. But yeah, so that's what we'll just do, Brian. Just spend like $200.
Is that how we'll get? Is that how we'll get on?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
We'll get our shot. We'll rub elbows with the Russos. Apparently, Amazon Studios is in talks right now to pick up Lucifer. So more good news from a studio that we're happy with right now for picking up The Expanse. But we'll see. No, nothing confirmed yet on Lucifer. Please pick it up. Let's see. We got a bunch of cool posters for Ant-Man. The Ant-Man promotional thing is under full swing right now.
Giant man.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Awesome. I'm gonna go see it. Even though Ryan isn't. And speaking real quick of movies that Ryan hasn't seen yet, last week we played a game called, you may have heard of it, Ryan Spoils the Movies, where he spoils the movies for himself because Ryan is a slacker and doesn't go to movies, and this is my way of publicly shaming him. So last week we started the game. It got really good. Ryan had a huge spoiler for himself that he became very sad on. I felt really bad for him. So I decided to give him a break for the rest of the show and gather himself. But we're going to finish the game show this week, Ryan. So, Deadpool 2. For those of you who don't know how this game works, Ryan has to ask me 3 questions. We asked one last week, and we got 2 more this week, of something that happens in the movie. And if he does not ask a good enough question, I will spoil a major plot point for him. Ryan, what is the question number 2 that you would like to ask me about Deadpool?
No, I want a different movie. I demand a different movie.
Number 2 for Deadpool number 2, Ryan. Come on. Quickly.
I don't have anything. I'm going
to spoil something. There's a couple really big points in this that I can spoil. I'm going to spoil them both. Ask me a question, Brian.
I might slowly pop out my earbuds while you're talking.
Deadpool 2 has been out for a month. This is your fault. You're a bad person. Give me a question.
Who is the fat kid?
Some kid who shoots fire out of his hands. And he likes to keister shivs. It's real weird. It's kind of funny. All right. Stay tuned for question number 3. And Ryan's going to come with a really good one, or you're going to get the ultimate spoiler. Speaking of spoilers, Arachnophobia is being remade. It's not really a spoiler, but spoiler! Arachnophobia is getting remade by James Wan. I say, yes, that was a great movie.
God, that movie made me... I burned so many spiders after that movie.
Everybody hates spiders out of that movie. Let's see here. What I got? Oh, Avengers Infinity War has officially crossed $2 billion. That's a lot of dinero.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of spandex, people. Eon Flux is getting a live-action TV reboot over at MTV. I didn't know MTV. Is MTV still a channel?
Do they still do music videos?
I didn't know it's still a channel.
I think
let's see here what else we got.
I think all they do is like that Teen Moms and Jersey Shore. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's right. Teen Moms Part 15. You know what? I think Eon Flux would be much better. So apparently Jordan Peele, the guy who did Get Out, has been pitching a live-action Gargoyles movie to Disney. And right now Disney's saying they're passing. Disney, I know you're a giant listener of our show. Fucking make this happen.
Yes.
I need gargoyles in my life.
I would trust Jordan Peele with a Gargoyles movie. Oh my god.
You and fucking everybody.
I want this to happen.
All right, last couple things real quick. Zoe Saldana has said that she's wrapped all her scenes for Avengers, Avatar 2 and 3. I guess it's going to happen.
Care.
Ian McGregor has been cast as Danny Torrance, the son of the notorious Jack Nicholson in The Shining, for The Shining 2. I don't know. It's based on some other movie. I don't even care. I didn't read it. LG has released 150-inch 4K projection TV for the low price of $30,000. If you'd like to buy us one, I would totally like one. And lastly, what we got? Paul Hogan is officially coming back as Crocodile Dundee. The fake commercial was so successful, everybody saw it during the Super Bowl with Danny McBride, and everybody liked it so much that Paul Hogan has decided to make Crocodile Dundee 2. But it is not really Crocodile Dundee. What it actually is Paul Hogan.
So leathery at this point.
No, check this out. Oh yeah, he looks terrible. But listen, so here's the story, and I think this is great. Paul Hogan is going to be knighted and on his way to be knighted, something happens and he has to leap into action. So it's Paul Hogan, like dressed as Crocodile Dundee, but actually is himself. I like it.
That's interesting.
You better have Danny McBride in it. That's all I'm saying.
That's not a knife.
And finally, a little more Stephen King news. His book, The Outsider, is apparently going to be made into a 10-episode TV series, limited series. Apparently, it's kind of a supernatural story, but it sounds pretty bad about a guy who rapes and murders a small boy. At least everyone thinks he did. And in the process, the town realizes that he may not be a monster, but there is a monster in their midst. Rape and murder of children is never a good thing. So hopefully they leave the raping part out in the book, in the TV show.
Depressing.
It's horrible.
Not cool.
Thanks a lot, Stephen King, you dick.
Fucking asshole.
I did like the movie. Yeah, that was pretty good. All right, that's all the news. It was only like 30 minutes worth of news. There we go. All right, moving on. From the Faithful 50, we got a lot of stuff to cover, so let's get to it. First of all, thank you everyone who submitted a question. If you're unfamiliar with this segment or new to the show, every Thursday me and Ryan throw up a post on our Facebook page asking you guys for questions, like anything you want to know. We got some interesting ones today, and you'll find out real soon. But throw it up there. Let us know what you want us to answer. You get a shout-out on the show, and we'll answer your question every week. So what do you got first?
And you get to see, whatever cool image that it took me so much time to find. So... First up, we have David. He wants to say, let's say the comic book universe could mingle. What group of individual characters would you like to see team up, or heck, even go head to head? Nothing has to make sense and just make really land, but he wants to know our thought. And there are some awesome what ifs. Yet there is some awesome. You can mash up in comic books.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say I'd like to mash up like Deadpool against Superman, just to see what happens.
Superman would murder him immediately.
Yeah, but then he would come back.
That would be kind of cool.
Keep annoying him.
All right, that'd be pretty good. All right. So I actually I put some thought into this one, David, and I came up with a couple answers. One, I would love to see I love Dragon Ball. I would love to see a Goku versus the entire comic universe. Like, he has to fight, he has a tournament.
Everybody.
Where the Dragon Ball, Goku and Vegeta fight Superman, Hulk. I mean, literally, they have a Karate Kid style tournament where they have to fight the entire DC Image and like Marvel universe because they probably still win because those guys are awesome.
But wouldn't every fight just be him just like powering up for like the first 30 seconds? And
30 minutes later,
by then the Hulk had just walked up and crane kicked him in the face.
That might be true, but I think it'd be pretty cool. I would love to see a Karate Kid style tournament between all the different comic book universes where they all just fight. Right, it'd be kind of cool. But the one I'd actually really like to see, in fact, I'd love to write. There's two. The first one is I've always said that I would like to take the Disney princesses. And this isn't really as much of a team up. I mean, it's a little bit of a cheat, I guess, not combining universes. But I would like to take all the Disney princesses, and I would actually like to turn them into a really gritty, like, superhero team where they have to save the world from something. But so, like, Merida has, like, she's like Hawkeye. She has super archer powers, right? Some of these princesses already are superheroes. Elsa is basically Iceman.
Yeah.
Rapunzel, like, her hair literally controls and she can use it to do whatever. Mulan is like a ninja. She's just a ninja assassin. So I think it'd be great to actually have like a real gritty retelling where you pick, you have the worst of their villains team up to form some like Legion of Doom, evil queen, whatever. But in this story, they've kidnapped all their men, right? They've taken all their men and they got them in jail and they can't do anything and they're just a bunch of whining little children. And all the girls have to get together and like kick ass and rescue them. I think it'd be great.
I thought about it, and I know that I want to bring in Hellboy, but I couldn't decide if I wanted just to do Hellboy just fighting like everybody, or if I could find like a specific person. And so I was torn between like the Hulk.
But Hellboy versus Spawn.
Yeah. Oh, because I was trying to think of something that like Spawn. I was trying to think of something that demon, that would kind of at least like kind of tie in somewhere. Ooh, Hellboy versus Spawn. I think that would be a good
How about
one.
Hellboy and Spawn and John Constantine team up to stop
Oh,
Satan and like I don't know, one of
and
the other demons in comics
the
in the
thing that's
Violator.
mm, I think that I think that's the one
All
right
right,
there.
my last one. I'll make it quick. Is I would love to see a Marvel DC team up where Ares and Loki use their magic to combine the realms, and they hijack Asgard and what's and fuck
Highland.
what's the Greek what's the Greek heaven?
Um, the Valkyrie
Olympus,
or something.
where they hijack Olympus and Asgard, and so and like enslave all the gods, and so Thor and Wonder Woman have to team up to overthrow them. You get like you get like a straight like fucking god style, like kind of like what's that show we watch, American Gods, but like way cooler.
Yeah, I think so.
That'd be awesome. I'd pay for that.
Yes. So thank you, David. That
All
was
right, and
very
Disney,
good.
if you take my idea about the princesses, you fucking better bring me on as at least a partial writer or something.
Yeah.
I want to do it.
Not like the last time.
Yeah, last time we stole our ideas, jerks.
Right? Any of the money or credit. Next up, we have Philip. This is not so much a question, but I think just a statement on how Phil's feeling right now.
All right, Phil, what do you got? You got some wild turkeys for us, or something about alligators in a pond? You want us to answer?
Or survivaling, building your
Oh,
own.
I love survival questions. Is this a Phil survival question?
I think so.
All right, what is it?
I think he's literally trying to survive.
All right,
He has a stomach bug.
He's a stomach bug.
Yeah. Maybe you should be
this is
drinking
going.
bugs from your pond.
I know where this is going. Right out his butt.
He said, "How can he possibly shit this much water? 2-ply feels like metal shavings. Kill me now."
Well,
Phil, that's not really a question, but
first of all, are you actually pooping metal shavings? Because if you are, you should see a doctor. That's not a stomach bug. That's called someone's trying to kill you, and you need to
I think
medical attention.
you might have been probed. Might have been probed by an alien, and they left some stuff back in there.
Yeah. You've been drinking a lot, Phil, lately? Did you wake up in the woods with your pants around your ankles? I mean, we're not judging. We're just saying, definitely aliens. Right in your butt.
And both of your shoulders are really sore.
God. It's possible. As much as you are in pain, you might have got the double probe. Two probes. 2 probes, 1 Phil. Not good.
Yes. So
hopefully
Phil,
they didn't have an iPhone and videotape the whole thing. How can you poop that much water? Well, your body's mostly made up of water, so you actually have a lot of liquids that you can eject. So make sure you get a lot of fluids.
Maybe try switching it to Gatorade.
Get a lot of fluids. Lay off the anal probing, and
stop.
Baby wipes. Baby wipes in those situations can be very helpful.
Yes. Make sure your butt feels really nice and cool.
And next time you kill your own turkey, cook it for longer than 10 minutes, man. I mean, just saying.
Yeah. Maybe stop dumping pesticides into your pond system.
Or maybe add pesticides. I don't know. You know what? You know what this could be, Ryan? Is I heard that the Black Plague, like some kid got infected with the Black Plague in Idaho. That's not that far from where Phil lives. So, Phil, it is possible if you start quoting Shakespearean or feel the urge to burn witches, you could possibly have the Black Plague.
Yeah. If you start getting black, hard black dots that are like up and down your arm,
or
then,
your lip nodes explode.
Yes.
You might want to seek medical attention.
Stay
away from us.
You probably should just go find a safe place far away from a lot of people. Because you don't want to be infecting everybody.
Oh, dude, there's like treatments for that now. It's not even that fatal anymore.
Just let a bear eat you.
Then the bears will get it. Then we'll have a bear zombie plague apocalypse.
It's a lot better than Phil shitting metal shaving. So
that's probably true. I'm still going to go with the alien double anal probe.
Yeah, Phil. I think that definitely will happen.
All right.
Get
better,
Phil. We have Chris.
Lube.
And he wants to know, what is your favorite all-time NES game? And then I'm pissed because he takes a bunch of mine right off the bat.
Which
he
ones?
says Blades of Steel, Tecmo Bowl,
Yeah.
SMB 1-3, and Tetris are not allowed answers.
Fine, Duck Hunt. Duh. Played the shit out of Duck Hunt.
I would say Zelda, the gold cartridge.
Yeah, I never played the original Zelda. Honestly, I got a Nintendo right before the Super Nintendo came out, and so all we really played was Super Nintendo and Duck Hunt because my parents would never buy us any more games. I'm trying to think. There was a few theme ones. I think I played Didn't they have like an E.T.? I think I had the E.T. game. I think I played that.
I didn't last very long on that. I played a lot of
That's what she
Excite
said.
Bike. Played Excite Bike.
Oh yeah, Excite Bike was great. Didn't they have Rad too? I think Rad was great.
Yeah, they had Rad. They had Mike Tyson Punch Out.
Yeah. Yeah, I played Mike Tyson Punch Out's a good one. I would say honestly though, of all the games, I played a shit ton of Duck Hunt, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Zelda.
Alright, Zelda's a good one.
And so then he had
Chris, the answer is Super Mario Brothers 3, you dick.
Yes.
Played the hell out of that.
But only if you saw the wizard, and that you used that to find out how to get the first flute. So, if you knew how to get the first flute because you saw the wizard, you were an awesome kid. Then we have one last one from Chris, and he wants to know if he can hear a breakdown, or maybe what you want to do, a special episode where both of us go over Street Fighter the movie, the one that killed Raul Julia. So I'm
we don't
guessing
have enough time to do that
what
today.
Chris is requesting is a crap or craptastic.
You know what?
Street Fighter.
You will be answered on that. Me and Ryan will pledge to do an entire crap or craptastic because I do not have enough time to break down that entire movie on this show. No. But we will commit right now. You know, that's a good point, Chris. You bring up that we usually tend to do newer movies, but we should definitely do some older movies. And first up, Street Fighter. Was that 91? I think 92. 3?
And if you're nice, Chris, maybe we'll let you join us. So,
for a Street Fighter 3-way.
Ooh,
that is as dirty as it sounds.
I'm gonna start mashing on.
Yeah.
Street Fighter controller.
Yoga fire. Sonic boom in your pants. All right, moving on. What's the next question?
Some dickhead that would just kick everybody's ass.
Is there any more questions?
That was it from our page.
All right, I got a bunch from my page. Are you ready for mine?
Yes.
Chris decided that he needed to really dig in even further and left many more. He wants to know, Evil Chris from Utah would like to know, if you get the Infinity Gauntlets, what petty thing do you immediately do with it?
Kill half of the people in the universe.
It's not really petty. That's more like evil and murderous.
Oh, well, I'm just following suit with the first one. I just assume that's like something that you have to do at the start.
There's a certain orange orangutan that I would immediately punch in the face. Not throwing out any names.
So,
I would force all toxic Star Wars fans to watch The Last Jedi on a loop 24 hours a day for 6 months.
Would do like Agent Orange or just like have the eyes all...
Reprogram them. I would immediately get all the money in the world.
Yeah.
Boom.
I would just be like, all right, I'm just going to go travel. I'm going to go see a whole bunch of cool stuff.
You're lame. I would get us 1 billion followers. Snap.
Yeah. I would make a spaceship armada appear so they could blast all of my enemies to pieces.
No, what the hell do you do with that much power? You've basically become God.
I would basically just become Blue Dr. Manhattan.
All I know is all those people call me
naked all the time and just have just the Infinity
All I know is people call me a stupid liberal and say, why don't you do something besides talk shit on Facebook? Well, you guys just got your wish, and now I got the Infinity Gauntlet. Boom.
Yeah, I'm just going to be completely naked all the time, wearing my Infinity Gauntlet, and anybody snickers or does anything when it's really cold out, and
I would snap my fingers,
fuck you, boom, dead.
And have the world's biggest ice cream bar. It'd just be huge, and I would just eat it. And then when I got too full, I'd snap and unfill myself and then eat more. It'd be great.
Like Homer Simpson when he's in hell. Like,
neither one of us said like we'd cure hunger or. I mean, I did say I would do some cool like liberal things, but are we bad
Let's be
people?
honest. Like the first 9 out of 10 things we'd be doing for ourselves, and then we were like, "Oh shit, I should probably be like."
After we've lived our gluttonous, horrible lives, we'd be like, we should probably do something for mankind besides swim in our giant pile of money.
Blowing up moons.
Yeah.
Like, that looks really cool.
I'd definitely give myself superpowers, that's for sure. I'll tell you that. All right, moving on. Thanks, Chris. And we'd love to hear what everybody else would do if they had the Infinity Gauntlet. I mean, clearly we're missing something cool, but whatever. I mean, what could be cooler than a giant ice cream bar, though? I mean,
yeah, and walking around naked.
Not only is it awesome, it's actually cold. It's cool. All right, moving on. Einert wants to know. He's got some friends whose dog just got diagnosed with OCD. 1, do we think a dog can beat OCD? And 2, how do we treat the dog with OCD?
Man,
I've had lots of dogs that are crazy, so I'm going to say OCD in a dog is probably a real thing.
Yeah, I would say just give him lots of snuggles.
I would say tie a tennis ball like to the top of his head, dangling down, so he just runs around in circles all the time and wears out all that energy.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, thanks.
Or snuggles.
He put a lot of funny emojis, so I think this is an inside joke for him. So, Einert, don't be a dick.
Yeah, we'll answer anyone's questions, but
it's
inside
true.
jokes are just
I would say that whoever took this dog to the vet and they said OCD, like if they recommend a vet psychiatrist and they want to like go 3 times a week and make you go on make the dog go on some like expensive medication, don't do that. Just get the ball that hangs from the face.
Mm-hmm.
Right around circles.
Just duct tape it.
Yes. All right, then we got 2 more from Chris's. Evil Chris has yet another one. He wants to know, we have to sit and watch one of the 3 classic 80s comedies. 1, we can only have to sit and watch 1 of 3, but he gives us like 5. So does he want to know if we got to get 3? He gave us...
I think Chris was overthinking these questions.
Chris says we can only watch 1 of 3, but he gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
All right, so should we go top 3 or just 1? Let's just pick 1. All right, so the first, here's what we can watch. You can watch 1 of the 6, Ryan. I'll let you answer first. I already know which one I would watch. Porky's, Caddyshack, Spaceballs, Stripes, Delirious, or Disorderlies?
Wow. I would say... God, Stripes is really funny.
Can't believe he left out Coming to America in Trading Places.
Yeah, I think that's probably because those ones were like too easy.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Because I would just pick Coming to America. I mean,
no, Trading Places is pretty good too.
He said the original Caddyshack.
Yeah.
God.
Well, while you're thinking,
I'm torn between Spaceballs and Stripes.
I'm going Spaceballs all day, every day.
I'll go with Stripes. I mean, it's been a long ass time since I've watched that movie.
See, that's the right choice, Ryan, because if we watch them together, that means we can watch 2 movies. We've found a way to cheat Chris's diabolical question. Take that, Chris. All right, and finally, good Chris from Washington would like to know if he wants to know if dressing like a dinosaur and roaring considered appropriate foreplay.
Yes.
I didn't know there was any other kind of foreplay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that whenever my wife lays down on the bed, I tuck my arms in like to my shirt like this.
Listen, if you're not playing Humposaurus Rex, I don't know what you're doing with your life.
And then you just it makes it easier for
Here comes the Humposaurus. Check out my spiky ball. Woo!
Like, oh, my little tiny arms can only reach right in front of me.
All right, that just got weird.
Sorry.
I got a scary glimpse into your life, Ryan.
Yes.
Feel bad for your wife. All right, here we go. And then lastly, which we're going to have to not give nearly as much time as I'd hoped to, but we'll answer the question. Eric wants to know, best conference overall for E3. What game was announced that has us excited the most, and what announcement surprised me at E3? So there's a ton of games to go over that were announced, so we'll try and hit a few of them. Me and Ryan can both answer this. I'll be honest, Eric, I did not watch nearly as much E3 coverage as I would like to. Unfortunately, with a full-time job and my Hellbeast children running around all the time, I don't get as much chance to watch these things. But I think we both watched a bunch of the trailers of games coming out. So how about this? Instead of giving rating each, Sony and Microsoft and everything, because I didn't watch enough of them, how about we just talk about some of the trailers we saw that we really liked, games that we're excited about, and maybe something that did or that surprised us about E3.
Yeah. I did not know they'd make another Morrowind game.
Another what?
Morrowind 6.
Morrowind?
The Skyrim. Yeah, the Skyrim.
Nice. I didn't even know that. I missed that one. Really?
So, yeah.
I think people are still playing the last one.
The next adventure.
Game I was probably most excited for is Halo Infinite. I'm a giant Halo fan. And
Halo never ends.
Never ends. I love it. Looks like Master Chief is coming back. They did not give us a lot of info about the game, other than it was kind of just a trailer that showed Master Chief's helmet under his arm, but it looked beautiful. And it's the engine that they're using is like a giant open world engine, so there's a lot of speculation.
F-160.
What?
An F-160 engine.
It is not an F-160 engine, but it is It's usually used for open world games, so a lot of speculation that it's going to be a Destiny style game, or some form of a much bigger open world RPG type.
It's going to have a battle royale feature, because that's what everybody's doing.
And a lot of people will play it. A lot of people were disappointed with Halo 5, this guy included, and
are they still
343 Studios better get their shit together, because I love Halo.
Are they still trying to contain the flood?
No, they moved on to the Forerunners, and they're. I don't have enough time to explain it all to you. Talk to me offline. All right, what's another game you saw that you were excited for?
I was excited for Fallout 70 or Vault 76. I've always loved the Fallout franchise. Mm-hmm. I played some ungodly amount of hours on Fallout games. The only catch is that I have not played Fallout 4. Just because I heard it kind of really deviated from the single player storyline and making a town, and it never jumped out at me, honestly. But this one seems like they're going to go for a multiplayer kind of aspect of Fallout. So I'm interested to see where they kind of land on that. So, but it's in the very early stages. So
nice. I am excited for EA announced a couple Star Wars things. First, they announced a more expansion into Battlefront 2, which is great, a Han Solo expansion. We're also going to get General Grievous, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Count Dooku, Anakin Skywalker. So it's good to know that they're going to continue to support Battlefront 2, which is a really fun game. But honestly, I was really excited to hear that we're getting a Respawn, the people behind Titanfall, which is a multiplayer type game, is doing a Star Wars game called Jedi. Let's see, Fallen Order. It takes place after Episode 3, after Order 66. It is about a lone Jedi who's being hunted down by the Empire. Supposedly is a single player game. I'm guessing this is going to have multiplayer. I can't imagine they'd bring Respawn into it without some kind of a big open world multiplayer aspect to it. But finally, we're getting a game where you can be a Jedi again. Some of the best games I've ever played were Star Wars games, Jedi Outcast, Jedi Academy, Knights of the Old Republic. So I'm excited to get back to some of these games. As much as I love Battlefront, the first-person shooter aspect of them, I'm very excited to get this game. So that was something that I was kind of disappointed when you get any kind of game plan. I suppose this came out in 2019, and yet we have no footage at all. That kind of sucked. So, but it is cool that we're getting a game. So I'm sure we'll hear more about it as we go. Anything else strike your fancy that you want to talk about?
I honestly have not been paying that much attention to E3 like I used to. Just because I don't have as much time for video games anymore. So.
Well, some of the games I saw, I'm an Xbox player, so I didn't really watch a lot of Sony. I know Sony released some beautiful trailers for some of the games they got coming out. I was a little disappointed there was no Final Fantasy VII They're redoing Final Fantasy VII from the ground up, and supposedly it's going to be an epic game. It's coming out, I think, next year. So the fact they didn't have any footage of that is a little disappointing. But that being said, I did see apparently they're releasing another Doom game, Doom Eternal's coming out. That looks like it would be pretty cool. Microsoft Gears of War 5 is coming out. I still haven't finished Gears of War 4, so take that with a grain of sand. But let's see what else we saw. Oh, the new Tomb Raider game is coming out. Looks pretty good. They had a trailer for that. Looks beautiful. Assassin's Creed. I love Assassin's Creed, but I really tried to get back into Origins, and I still have yet to beat Origins. But they got Assassin's Creed Odyssey that takes place during the Greek times. So, like, the Odyssey times actually looks pretty cool. And then, let's see if I've got anything else here. I might have to try that out, but then again, I said I might try out Origins, and I still have yet to beat Origins. You know, the sad part is I used to game way more than I do now. And now with the podcast, with the family and everything else, I get one night a week that I game. And I basically just play Destiny. Oh, yeah, Destiny. They show the new Destiny expansion. What is it called? Where'd it go? Destiny... Lawless Frontier? I don't know. All I know is it looks really cool, and I'll buy it. So the new Destiny expansion's coming out soon. It looks great. I don't know what else we got here. I know. Sorry, Eric. If you're looking for some in-depth coverage of E3, you're not going to get it here. My biggest disappointment of this...
like the 6 million gamer blogs.
Yeah, there are a lot more. I mean, they're not as cool as us, so I appreciate that you wanted our input on this. Basically, for me, it's Halo, Destiny, and Star Wars games. I mean, that's pretty much what I do. Which, by the way, if you'd like to hit me up on Xbox Live, I am Jedi Killer 153.
And for me, it's Fallout games and Morrowind. So I like fantasy RPGs.
Well, I like RPGs too, but I don't really have as much time to play them anymore.
And don't look me up on Xbox Live. I'm on it.
My biggest disappointment, though, is that we did not get our long-rumored Rocksteady Superman game announcement. Everybody knows it's coming from the people who did Batman Arkham Asylum. We are going to get a Superman open-world game. Everybody knows it's going to happen, and yet it still hasn't been announced yet. So, bleh. All right, well, thank you, everybody, for your questions. Hopefully we answered them to your liking. If not, well, whatever. You didn't pay for this, so...
We tried.
We'll give you back your money. How about that?
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, before we get out of here, do you have anything you did this week that you'd like to recommend for people?
So my wife and I started rewatching all the Office episodes on Netflix. We're on I don't even know what the final season is, but we're on, I think, season 7. That's pretty much what we've been doing, for our together time that we have after the kids are in bed and all that stuff. And I forgot how funny the show is. And my wife has been laughing like her ass off on a lot of the stuff. Because we watched...
I've only ever watched a couple episodes of it.
Really? I mean,
yeah.
It's a really funny show.
I don't watch a lot of sitcoms. I spend most of my time watching genre.
Yeah. We bought the first 2 seasons, when it was cool to buy the whole season pack, when they came out on DVDs. And we watched the first 2, and then we bought the first 2, and then from then on we only just watched each episode when it aired. So it's been kind of fun just like seeing all these episodes again that we only really watched one time. So it's kind of like, oh hey, when's this thing gonna happen? And so it's been really funny, and my wife and I really have been enjoying it. So The Office on Netflix, that's just what we've been watching.
All right. I actually watched a couple movies, but I'll just talk about one of them tonight. I watched Blade Runner 2049, but I think I'm going to save that for another episode.
Oh, the one on HBO?
Yeah, it's on HBO. I finally got around to watching it, but I have a lot of feelings about the original Blade Runner. So, we'll talk about that at a different time.
I'll watch it, too, and we'll do a crap or crap test.
There we go. I don't think I think everybody loved it, so we'll just have to do a review on it. But anyway, I did watch American Made, the new Tom Cruise movie that is also on HBO now. It tells a true life story of some I don't remember his name, some pilot back in the 80s who the CIA hired. He's a pilot. They hired him to spy on other countries and then to run guns. And during the whole time, he's working with Pablo Escobar to run drugs. It's a crazy movie, and it's actually really good. I know a lot of people don't like Tom Cruise, but I would definitely recommend check out American Made. We had a few cocktails, watched the movie, loved it. My wife hates Tom Cruise, and she loved that movie. It is a really, really entertaining movie. It's so fucking crazy that you're like, I can't believe this shit actually happened, but it's all real. So check it out, American Made on HBO right now. You can watch it for free, so check it out. And I think that's all the show we got. So before we get the hell out of here, Ryan, would you like to tell everybody where they can find us?
You can find us on YouTube at the Geek Dad Report, Facebook at the Geek Dad Report. You can also find us on Twitter at the Geek Dad Report. And Brian is BrianWest53 on Twitter, and I am Big Bruiser. You can also find us on podhell.com. That's where you can find also our audio versions and along with our video versions. And then, as always, we are on iTunes. So please go to as many of those as you can, like and subscribe, leave a comment, and we look forward to hearing from you. We've been having a lot of fun with the YouTube comments.
Yes.
And it's good. Even though everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Ryan's getting more movies spoiled." It's so
That's
great.
True. No. Well, you know what? That's why we continue to do that segment, because you guys comment, and we love talking to you guys. You guys are awesome. And before we get out of here, I'd like to ask Ryan, question number 3 of Ryan Spoils the Movies. What is your last question on Deadpool 2?
My last question is,